Welcome to the College of Global Futures Financial Aid and Funding Sources. And I'm Bridget Bavasset, and I'll turn it over to my colleague, Nicole.
Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Nicole Herrera, and we would like to welcome you to the College of Global Futures, which is actually the newest college here at Arizona State University. We have 3 schools. So we have the School for Future Innovation in Society, School of Sustainability, and also the School of Complex Adaptive Systems. And as you can note there, that school actually only has graduate programs right now, but in the future there will be undergraduate programs. So right now we're going to kind of be focusing more on the first 2 schools.
And again, I'm Bridget and my colleague Nicole. We work in student services with the College of Global Futures. We both started in the School of Sustainability, and then during the pandemic, College of Global Futures was launched this summer. It's the newest college at ASU, so very excited to have you join us.
Christopher Boone, he is Dean of the College of Global Futures. And so I'm going to be referencing this quote throughout the presentation. And one of the things people are probably wondering, well, who are you guys? So here's a good quote that we would like to be able to share with everyone, is that we're looking for students who will be working on some really complex problems that we have in the world. So our faculty that we have are world-class, their expertise in their field, and we're working towards helping these students be able to be the next generation leaders and be able to help them gain that knowledge, mindset, get that real life experience so they can tackle these complex global problems. So with that, we want to be able to find solutions. That way we can be able to take care of our most critical patient that we have right now, which is our Earth.
And as a student at the College of Global Futures, you're a change agent. We work to identify real world issues, find solutions, and create that positive impact. When you're a student, you're able to start creating a positive impact through internships and research positions, and then as an alumni as well, of course. So it's an ongoing process that's an absolute honor.
We are trying to be able to collaborate from people from all around the world. Part of that is we have students who are from 26 countries from around the world. That way we can be able to increase our diversity and to be able to kind of figure out and be able to work as a group for some of these complex problems that we have.
The beauty is with working internationally, there's internships and fellowships, and a lot of our students have had funding to go do a fellowship program in the Netherlands, as an example. We've had study abroad scholarships. I've taken students to Cuba and Costa Rica, and there's always funding and scholarships for study abroad. And you have a chance to work on these 17 sustainable development goals that the United Nations set forth. All these countries you're looking at, those are the places where we've already been working with countries trying to meet their target deadlines by 2030. And as you move through the program, we always update our website about fellowship opportunities and the internships and the study abroad scholarships. So keep that in your mind as you're moving forward through the program.
So here we're going to start and talk more about what are some costs that you can anticipate as you become a student for the College of Global Futures, and finding what are some funding sources. So we're going to be talking about defining these and looking for opportunities. We are also going to share in the chat a Google form that has some resources for you that Bridget will be able to put in the chat for you. So you're welcome to use this as a resource. So let's go ahead and first talk about the first point, which is the cost. So let's kind of give you a kind of a general breakdown. So there's a difference between standard costs and personal expenses. And as I go out through this presentation, know that we're only giving you a general overview because financial aid can get very complex. We are also going to be able to give you information about financial aid workshops that are coming up, which is with the Arizona State University Financial Aid Office. And they put on some good informational tutorials and virtual events like this for you to kind of learn more. But right now we're going to be focusing just on the general part of financial aid, but then we're going to be going more specific about the scholarships that we offer here at the College of Global Futures. So get started, we want to know what the costs are. So standard costs that all students have to pay are tuition and fees. So that is something that's very standard that all students must pay. And then if you decide to live on campus, or even if you decide to live off campus, maybe in an apartment nearby, you're going to have that cost of housing. So with that housing, you also have to take in consideration the cost of meals, which is kind of separate from that housing as well. The other point of view is your personal expenses. So each individual that we have here on Arizona State University has personal experience that vary. And that comes to the books and supplies that they have, depending on the courses they're taking each semester, and also the transportation that you're having to spend money for, whether that you're living at home or if you're living near campus, or if you live on campus and you need to go different places, you got to take that in consideration into expenses. And again, personal expenses, that can be anything like clothing or food that you might have that is separate from the meals that you have to pay. So we just kind of want to keep that kind of those costs in mind when you're thinking about different expenses. Now we want to talk about, we have these costs. Let's look about where we can start finding money to be able to help pay for these costs. So we're going to talk about funding sources. Again, a general breakdown is we want to kind of teach you the difference between grants and scholarships and loans. Grants and scholarships are free money. That means that you're never going to have to pay it back in the future. And we also have ASU and private scholarships. So when you are a student here at Arizona State University, you want to make sure that you apply for scholarships. And there's different ways to do that, and we'll be speaking about that today. And we also encourage students to look for private scholarships. And on that form that Bridget's able to give to you in the chat, gives you some recommended places to look for scholarships, but also work with your counselor, work with people in your community that might know of different scholarship opportunities. You know, you'll be surprised at the different types of scholarships that are out there. So feel free to keep branching out. And, you know, this is the time to start applying for scholarships, because deadlines usually start beginning as soon as, you know, this spring semester. So kind of look out for that as well. Now with loans, there are different types of loans. There's loans that you can get from the federal government. There's also loans that you can get from private institutions or banks. These kind of loans are money that you will receive, but in some time you will need to pay that back. And usually when you're paying it back, it's going to be a different amount in the long run, because you're going to have interest built into that. But that means that over a period of time, there's an amount that's fixed in a formula that's saying that, you know, if you take so much time to pay it back, there's going to be a certain amount added to the amount that you took out. So that's what interest is, and kind of want to steer you more into the grants and scholarship kind of arena. But we also know that depending on your situation, you may have to take out loans. But remember that, you know, being able to get your education is definitely an investment in yourself. Again, we'll be talking more about some opportunities where you can be able to attend some of these financial aid workshops that the Arizona State University Financial Aid Office offers too. Here's some of these acronyms, FAFSA, and you might not know what that means, especially if you're coming here to Arizona State University and you're a first-year student and you're wondering, what are all these acronyms? What is FAFSA? So I wanted to define it here for you. What it means is a federal application for federal student aid. So what that means is that you are going to apply for some funding through the government. I put a little diagram here, which I actually got off the Arizona State University Financial Aid Office. And so you're going to definitely go to this website, FAFSA.gov, and you're going to go through these steps of how to begin the FAFSA process. You're definitely going to have to log in, and the application date that you want to select if you're starting in fall 21 is going to be 2021-2022 FAFSA application. And that will be able to help you be able to apply for financial aid. Again, the government also offers grants and loans. And so there's all kinds of different types of funding that they have available to you. Remember, grants are money that you won't have to pay back. And then loans will be one that you have to pay back with interest. And you'll be able to start that process. And one thing here at Arizona State University, which I will definitely mention later on, is that we have a priority deadline. And if you are in a situation where you do have financial need, and meaning after you submit your FAFSA, there's some different types of calculations that are done to determine what your financial needs, depending on your parents or your financial situation, you're able to qualify for some need-based kind of grants through Arizona State University. So that's even separate from what you could get awarded through the government. And so that deadline is really important. That is actually this coming in 2 days on January 15th. So be sure you submit your FAFSA, follow these steps. And we have here the college code, which is 001081. So in case you ever are wondering what that code is right there, you're definitely able to look that up on our financial aid website at Arizona State University. Federal financial aid questions. And everyone's situation is very different. I know when I was a student, my situation was different. And I actually worked in a financial aid office, and I know every student's is different. So what you want to do is we have some links here for you, and it's actually in that Google Doc as well. But just to bring this up again, we have the Arizona State Financial Aid Office. That's their website. And if you are interested in learning more about the details of federal financial aid and also how it works with Arizona State University, they do have live hosted virtual visits that you can definitely take care of. And that's the second link. And then if you have already been admitted into ASU as a first-year student, and this will be your first semester at Arizona State University, that link will also take you to those events as well. So we also have that in that Google Doc for you. Let's get to what we have to offer here at the College of Global Futures. And we want to kind of go over, we have 2 scholarships and go over the eligibility criteria. So we have one scholarship called the Global Futures Champion Scholarship. And we also have a Future is for Everyone scholarship. First, talk about the Global Futures Champion Scholarship. That award is for $4,000 for your first year here at Arizona State University, which is broken up between the fall and spring semester. So you will get $2,000 per semester. And one of the requirements is that you are enrolled at least in 12 credit hours or more, and that you are either a newly admitted first-year student, transfer student, or online student. And also you need to be admitted not only to ASU, but also to one of our Global Futures programs. And if you are interested in having your situation, such as financial need, to be considered, make sure you complete your FAFSA and submit it by the deadlines that we have listed below. So if you're a first-year student and you're about to start your college experience, your deadline is going to be February 1st, which is coming up in a few more weeks. And the deadline for transfer students and online students is May 2nd. For those transfer and online students, you do have a little bit more time. And the other scholarship we have available is the Future is for Everyone scholarship. And that is a $1,000 award. And it is given to newly admitted first-year students and also transfer students. And again, just like the other scholarship, you must be enrolled in at least 12 credit hours or more for fall 2021. But this one is a little bit different. You need to be enrolled and also accepted into the School for the Future of Innovation and Society. That's the difference between the two. The first scholarship is for the entire college. Any student who's admitted to the college can apply, but this one is particularly just for the School for the Future of Innovation and Society. And your need base isn't considered. And the deadline for that is going to be March 15th, 2021. I want to kind of show you where you go to apply for these scholarships. We also provided a link in that document that Bridget was able to share with you. And it has a direct link to this, but I also want to show you your My ASU. So if you go to My ASU, you log in, you want to go to the Finances tab on the top, and then you're going to go to the Financial Success box, which will be on the right-hand side, and you're going to look for this one category called Search/Apply for Scholarships, and you're going to click on that. And this is going to take you to the ASU Financial Aid Scholarship Portal. And this is where we are right now, the ASU Scholarship Portal. So from here, you will see that you have different options. And the one selection you want to do is the first one, which is Scholarship Search. And this is one that's open for everyone. Again, this is not only just for these 2 scholarships we're mentioning. From this scholarship portal, you're able to use filters to describe your situation, who you are. And the less filters you have placed, the more scholarship possibilities you have to apply. So we kind of want to give you the advice of don't put too many filters, because then you won't have as many scholarship opportunities to apply for. But this is where you're going to come, and you're also welcome to search for the scholarship names that we have mentioned. So you're welcome to put that in there. The 2 names of the scholarships are going to be Global Futures Champion Scholarship, and then the Future is for Everyone Scholarship. These are what the app would look like when you're in the ASU Scholarship Portal. And so again, you want to review the eligibility, which we kind of went over, the criteria, make sure that you fill out the application, and click on the maroon button at the very bottom where it says Apply Now to make sure that your application is submitted before the deadline. And remember how we mentioned the Future is for Everyone scholarship is is particularly just for that school. Once you submit that application through the portal, you have applied to it. But with the College Global Future Champion Scholarship, when you look through the criteria and the application process, there's a little bit more that you need to do, which we'll be talking about right now. So for the Global Futures Champion Scholarship, you will need to let us know who you are. Let us know what school you're coming from. If you're coming from a community college, let us know, and which program you are applying to within the College of Global Futures. The second thing is having you identify a global challenge. Again, we mentioned earlier that we are trying to create change agents, and we definitely know that there are different complex problems going on in the world. So we want you to figure something out. That what are some problems that are very dear to you that you feel like you're very passionate about? Why are you passionate about that? What are things that you can do locally to help solve this problem? So this is something that you want to tie into how that's going to fit into your future studies with the program that you're trying to plan to get into. And what are some of your innovative solutions that you have for it? It's always great to read some of the essays and see videos from students who applied to this, and we're able to hear some of their innovative ideas. Again, we're trying to really focus on, there might be a global problem going on, but what can you do in your local community where you live that can be able to help address this problem? So that's something we're looking for in the application. And so with this, you can submit an essay or a video. And with the video, it needs to be 1 to 2 minutes in length. And we want to make sure that you make it viewable. Make sure that there isn't an account that needs to be tied to it, that it's public access, and that there's no password. I just noticed that I didn't put no password. So make sure there's no password. I apologize, there's a typo right there. But make sure you title the video with your name and semester you will be enrolling in at ASU. So if you're planning to come for fall 2021, make sure that you have fall 2021 on there. And so some of the accepted formats, if you're submitting an essay, will be a docx, a txt, PDF, and we need 500 words and double space. And scholarship, if you are, in a situation where you have very sensitive personal needs or you have financial need, we can take into consideration those factors as well. But you will need to make sure, if you do have a financial need, to submit your FAFSA if you're eligible to do so, and making sure that you submit that before the deadlines of the scholarship as well. So again, kind of going back to this quote that we had from our dean, Christopher Boone, is that again, we're trying to cultivate change agents. We know that you guys are very passionate about changing the world, and we want to be able to hear what your ideas are. And this is why the scholarship was created, to be able to find our next generation leaders and make sure that we can look for some solutions that will be sustainable and innovative to be able to help our planet. I just want to go over some next steps, because I feel you're coming here to ASU, you're going to be starting a new semester, you're starting your new school, and how exciting. We're really excited to be able to have you be a part of it. So I want to just let you know some few things if you haven't gotten these done yet. Kind of encourage you to do that. You want to make sure that you apply to ASU and apply to our programs at the College of Global Futures. And always make sure that you're kind of checking My ASU. That's where you're going to get a lot of updates. You will be also access to a checklist and be able to enroll in your courses. You'll be able to check your financial tabs, see where you are with your financial aid process. But you will hear that constantly as you are a student, is My ASU. It's like the big, huge portal that you have here. And make sure that you also pay your enrollment deposit. And then if you are a new student, you want to make sure that you register for the new student experience. Also, you want to confirm your housing. We do recommend that students do live on campus their first semester, but now that we are in a pandemic, there's different ways that work with that as well, because it is a different scenario that we're living in right now. And submit your FAFSA. And again, one thing that I mentioned is that January 15th is a priority. Again, what I mean by that is that if you have federal financial need, you qualify for that. Here at Arizona State University, there is a certain amount of money that's allocated for students who have that financial need. So if you're able to submit your FAFSA before January 15th, you will be considered for that Arizona State University financial need based money as well, because there's a certain amount that's allocated each year. And the last thing, again, that we're kind of is the importance of going to that ASU scholarship portal and submitting your applications and be able to apply for the scholarships that we had mentioned. Again, there's also other scholarships that are open for all Arizona State University students. So that might be a good start for you to get into, start looking around. Again, we also encourage you to look for other private scholarships in your community. If you're involved with any kind of organizations, they might have scholarships as well, but feel free to be as generous and looking around for scholarships as you can, because we want to make sure that, you know, those costs get addressed as well.
And Nicole, we had a question in chat regarding FAFSA. If the students have already submitted it, when can they see their status? And if you're not sure of that answer, I'm sure that Tempe, the College Connect, can answer that in the next workshop, or we can find out and get back to you. Do you know, Nicole, offhand?
Yeah, good question. So if you did submit your FAFSA, that's great. Congratulations. What you can do is, if you go to My ASU, remember how we talked about that financial tab on the very top of My ASU, the same place that we were looking for the scholarship link. There is going to be on the left-hand side, and it's nice because the financial aid office has kind of like a status update to let you know where your FAFSA is and the status of everything. So you'll be able to look there. Another thing is, you're welcome to call the financial aid office to see if they have received any kind of update with that, because what happens is, once you put in the number code for Arizona State University, after it's submitted to the government, the federal government, it sees that you have that code for Arizona State University, and then later on it's going to communicate to Arizona State University that they have received your FAFSA. So that's how the financial aid is able to check on your status that way as well. So I would try to give it a few business days. Also, if you're interested, I would also check up with the financial aid office, and then also look through My ASU as well. Good question.
We also had a question in the chat about when are enrollment deposits due. So for fall 21 semester, the enrollment deposit due date is May 1st. Dun, dun, dun. And then if you're an international student, it's by June 15th. So definitely, if you're here in the US of A, by May 1st, there is a little bit of flexibility with that. Some of it are able to stretch it out to June 1st, but the importance of getting your May 1st enrollment deposit made is that you can start signing up for classes once you start getting that deposit paid and you're working with your advisor, and some of the more popular classes, you want to make sure you get into those. So we have answered the questions regarding double check for FAFSA, the enrollment deposit, and I think everything else in the chat we've been able to answer. So I already have this information here. And then of course, here's our contact info.
Yeah, so feel free to, if there's any questions you guys have right now, we are here to answer them. This is a presentation we wanted to give to you guys because we do have deadlines coming up, and we wanted to make sure that you're on the know and that you're getting a head start on looking for scholarship funding and everything. And we're just excited because we understand that college is not cheap, and we want to make it easy for providing some funding for you. So these are the scholarships that we do have here at the College of Global Futures. And just so you guys know too, we have a few events coming up. We have our virtual experience at ASU that we have every Monday and Wednesday, 4:30. You're welcome to join us there, learn more about the College of Global Futures. We kind of give you guys more examples and just kind of boring you guys to death. We want to show you some problems that are being tackled by not only our faculty, but our students as well. And then we also have new admitted student days that are coming up, which will be in March. And then Bridget and I are going to be putting on another event during February around Valentine's Day or so, Sparky Valentine, and you're welcome to join us for there. I believe all that information is going to be included in the document that Bridget was able to put in the chat for you. But other than that, if you don't have any questions, you're welcome to continue with your evening. Again, there's all sorts of events like these locally or in your area. Look out for those, because then there's opportunities for you to get funding for school. But we appreciate you guys joining us tonight.
Thank you so much, and thank you for taking time tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.